Welcome to the Breaking 90 podcast, where we talk about all things sustainable fat loss. We take people on 90-day journeys to creating fat loss forever. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Breaking 90 podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Jerrika and Alex, and we are the coaches of Breaking 90 Fitness. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. How have you been?
Good. I finally did it. I pulled the trigger. I registered for Spartan.
Oh, you did it. Which ones?
I think I just registered for Ottawa right now. That's the one coming up next month. Are you going to that one?
No, my brother's kind of wedding 2.0 is that weekend. So I'm doing the one prior in Toronto.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be doing that one and then Blue Mountain as well. I think you're working Toronto weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work with our schedule, so I'm not doing that one. But doing Ottawa and then Blue Mountain. And I'm really hoping, I've been talking with a couple of Breaking 90 members about it, and a lot of people are intimidated by the idea of Spartan. But I think they really showcase like the people who are doing it competitively instead of just showcasing how much fun it can be. I would love to get a crowd out to the one in Blue Mountain. It's close to home for those of you who live in the Blue Mountain area, obviously, which is a lot of our listeners. And it could be a ton of fun. So I'm trying to rally a group for that. It's in October. People have lots of time to prepare to do the 5 kilometer and make it a really good time. So if you're listening, if you're interested, reach out to us.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think we can I don't think people understand there's the open division, there's teams. So you go in with a Breaking 90 team if you're around, and if there's a wall that you can't jump over, well, that's where I'm here to boost you up. And it's like a camaraderie. It's a fun. It doesn't matter about time when you're in that division. It's just about literally about having a good time. You meet at the beer tents later, have some fries, have a drink. Like, it's just the whole environment. It's a great time, a great day. And if you're into just anything kind of physical fitness, then you'll have a blast.
Agreed. I think so. So that's our goal then, Jer, is we're going to get a team together to go to Blue Mountain.
Definitely.
Yeah. Jerrika and I will both be competing in it. So even if you don't want to run, come cheer us on, but I think you should all run.
So that means you're doing the beast at Blue Mountain then, right?
Yeah.
From experience, it's so hard.
You did all 3 there. I don't know if I'll do all 3. I might just do the beast there.
Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to do. Maybe the 5K. The day after, but I'm going to do the 10K earlier in the year because my body was beat.
I'm doing the 5 and 10 in Ottawa, and Emerson. I entered Emerson in the 1K.
That's amazing. Oh, I got to take videos and pictures. That's cool.
It's going to be so awesome. He'll be so proud. He loves getting medals.
I mean, that's going to get him there, and then he'll realize how much he loves it.
All right.
All right.
I've got a quick topic for us today. We're going to tear through it, but we've done this in the past, but I think it's time to bring it back up. And I think every time we cover this idea, we're going to voice our opinions and a little bit differently. So it might be beneficial for people to rehash. So this is the time of year that a lot of people have fallen back off track since your New Year's resolution, probably for a little while. March break usually sets people back, and you're in a bit of a slump, and we're coming into summer and everybody wants to be in better shape for summer. So what we're going to talk about today are the quick start guide to fitness, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Jared to give one piece of advice, and we'll talk about it, and then she'll ask me, we'll talk about it, and we'll bounce a couple ideas back and forth and leave you with a couple really easy actionable steps to getting back into health, fitness, and a better body before summer. Okay. So
this is coming from someone who's got some sort of basis, you're saying, or just, it could be for anyone. It's getting back into it or just getting started.
So this is for the person who has started and fallen off track 100 times in their life.
Okay.
They're very familiar with the roller coaster. of both nutrition and fitness, and they want to know how to do this right before summer, or at least
Awesome.
get started before summer. So you get to give one tip. What is it?
Okay, Coach Kelly would love me saying this. I think before we get into the details of nutrition and movement, I think it's trying to figure out what your why is. Why are you doing this? Because clearly there's a reason that you're going up and down and falling on and off. So having a specific goal, but your bigger why, kind of making note of that, hopefully should, in our opinion, kind of keep you on.
I love that. That's huge. So many people come into this and say, I want to look better by summer. Well,
why?
No shit. We all want to look better by summer. But why? Why is that important to you? Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to wear that bathing suit? Why is that important to you? Dig into that, expose it, have those feelings, and it will become a lot clearer. It'll become a lot easier to stick to your plan. I think that's huge.
Put it somewhere you see it often. It was the coolest thing the other day. Where was I? I think I was actually just at the gym, but I just happened to look over and their phone, their lock screen was like their why. They had this quote and this picture. And I was like, that is, so every time they hit their phone, their why was there. And I was like, that's a great place to put it. Anyways, having it visible or reminding yourself constantly, because sometimes you might steer away from it a little bit. So just having it somewhere you can see it is important as well.
It's part of the reason we have such an extensive enrollment process now into Breaking 90, because so many people like the idea of being with a coach or on a program, but unless we can actually dig into the reason you're here, and if whether or not we can help you, and if it's achievable, attainable, then we're probably not going to work with you, because we want you to succeed, and we don't believe you can succeed without digging into this.
You have to be a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
You have to open up for sure.
Cool.
Awesome. What do you got? What's the second point?
Okay. I'm going to take it a different direction and say, start moving more. And so that's a really, really loose concept and idea. But it's something that most people butcher. Is instead of moving more, they try to move all. They try to go from 0 to 10. They try to do everything instead of getting a little bit better. You guys have heard me use my continuum analogy lots. Find where you are right now from 0 to 10 on that scale and try to move up one notch. That's what I mean when I say move more. How can you add more movement into your day-to-day life? Do I think it's going to be the solution for your fat loss? No, but it's going to leave you feeling better, and it's going to set you off on the right track.
Think about the days if you go for a walk, a 20-minute walk, 10-minute walk around the block. Think of that 10-minute walk, is that going to make you lose a ton of calories in the grand scheme of things? Maybe not necessarily, but how did you feel when you got back from that walk? Did it make you more motivated to now drink your water, to choose a vegetable, right? The more movement you incorporate typically keeps you more motivated, more disciplined, and just in a better place of mind.
Yeah.
And it can, obviously, and it will help with the fat loss aspect as well, but that's not maybe necessarily the reason why.
Yeah, we shouldn't really look to exercise as our primary source of fat loss. We should probably look to our nutrition intake as our primary source of fat loss, and our exercise as our primary health source. So as we try to improve our physical health, but they do certainly go hand in hand, and they complement one another.
Definitely move more. And that could be, it might not even be necessarily putting aside, like we've mentioned many times before, putting aside a specific time in your day to exercise. That might not be where you're at yet, but maybe it's like we talked about, our example is just increasing your NEAT, so your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So finding ways throughout the day to take more steps or to get up out of your desk and do something. It's finding ways to incorporate more movement versus spending more time seated.
Yeah, park further, take the stairs, walk to the grocery store, like those little things. That's what I'm talking about. Get up and clean your house. When you remember I was doing that move goal challenge before my vacation.
Yeah.
every time that I was like, so I had checkpoints throughout my day where I knew I should be about this high on my move goal by this time of day. If not, I'm behind. I would just get up and be like, okay, I'm behind. Like, I'm just going to clean the house for the next 40 minutes. And it would like skyrocket my move goal.
Right. Instead, because some people would be like, oh, I'll just walk up and down the stairs. But it's like, well, if you can have it stacked now, you can like check off some house cleaning while getting your movement in. Now you're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that.
All
Okay.
right. You get to go again. What do you got?
Move more. I would say drink more water.
Yeah, I like that one. I thought
Pretty
you
basic.
might go there.
Pretty simple in terms of, I'm not saying a specific necessarily a number. I'm just saying, what are you drinking? Same continuum, right? It's always that, what are you drinking now? Okay, how can we drink a little bit more? Or it doesn't have to be, it could be maybe an extra 500 milliliters, 250 milliliters, like just an extra glass of water. Start there and then slowly build.
A lot of people get caught up in this idea that they can't drink that much water because they're going to be going to the washroom continuously. Well, how about this for a challenge then? Instead of drinking X amount of water, try replacing other beverages with water. You're still consuming the same amount of liquids, but now more of those liquids are water, which is 0 calorie, great for our health recovery, great for other things too, like our skin and all that stuff, but that's not what we're here for. But it's going to also leave you feeling full and contribute to the overall fat loss as a result.
Definitely. We always talk about our favorite tip, drink water first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get water done and get a huge portion of your water kind of set before your day even starts. And we can go on the benefits of helps with digestion and things like that as well. It's the first thing you're putting into your body in the morning. Your body is going to think about it. The first thing you put into your body was alcohol in the morning, right? We want to treat our body with the first thing it's going to absorb with the best type of liquid, which would be water. So first thing in the morning, water, best way to get at least a cup or more down before you even start. Favorite tip.
That's a good one. I've got 3 that I want to hit. I feel like if I say this one, then I'm forcing your hand into your next one. So I'm going to say protein intake. It's I would say one of the most often neglected. So we start eating less and we start exercising more, but we're not really getting the changes we want. There's a good chance that that's because you're not eating enough protein. So the nutrients we are getting, maybe not the correct nutrients. Protein's going to leave us feeling full longer. It's going to help us repair, recover, and build muscle quicker and easier. And it's probably going to leave you with the body you desire at the end of the journey better than not. Well, it definitely will. What are your thoughts?
Definitely. That's was one of my 3 points that I have written down. Exactly what you said. Just increase your protein intake. Doesn't have to be extreme. Find sources of protein that you love. I always recommend making a list because I find this is the food group that people struggle with the most for either hitting or just variety. Everyone's always like, oh, what do you do for more protein? And everyone's always asking questions. So make sure you write a bunch down so that when things get either a little bit monotonous or boring, or you need some ideas and then pick a different one, because there's a ton of great sources out there.
For sure.
And different ways to cook them.
I think most people know how to get their protein in. Like we can give you lists certainly, but it's not as glamorous as the carbohydrate or the fat. It's not that it's not that you can't think of the protein. You don't crave that chicken breast the way that you crave the cupcake. Like that's human nature. I'm sorry. We're going to have to make some decisions here that we don't like.
Exactly to hit our goals, and just finding ways that you do just change up the flavors and just make it a little bit more fun, but just hit the protein, increase it. I have 2 more. I'm not sure if they're the same as yours, so I'll pick. This kind of goes along with protein. Increase your veggie intake.
Knew it.
That was one. So increasing your veggie intake, it just fills us up more with lower calorie substances, and it's more nutritious. It has tons of nutrients and vitamins. So good for you, and something most people are typically neglecting.
Yeah.
If you're typically consuming 1, then try to consume 2. Like it's nothing. We're not saying 7 to 8 like the old recommendation on our food group pyramid, right? Start by building slowly.
This is actually maybe, it's hard to say what's the most important, but this might be the most important.
I thought you'd say that.
if you're a grown ass adult that isn't eating vegetables, you got to put on your big kid pants and eat some vegetables, because these are going to play a massive, massive role. You can literally eat as many vegetables as you want to, and you will probably hardly affect the amount of calories you're taking in that day in comparison to any other kind of food. You could eat tons of vegetables and still stay in a calorie deficit. So if you're feeling hungry on your fat loss journey, add vegetables. Eat the vegetables, eat whatever you need to eat, and then compound it with vegetables until you feel great. You can stuff yourself with vegetables and still stay in line with your goals. You're getting those nutrients like we talked about. You're making yourself feel full longer. You're allowing your body to benefit from getting the proper nutrients now. And it's so important on this fat loss journey that you don't feel hungry, because feeling hungry sucks.
Volume eat, right? That's the amazing thing about veggies, is like Alex mentioned, you can volume eat and feel like I make we always talk about our big ass salads. I am a huge lover of a big ass salad. I make the world's biggest salad and I feel so full because you can eat so much, like Alex mentioned. Yeah. And a lot of these veggies, I mentioned on a podcast with Kelly, it hasn't come out yet, which a lot of you will hear. I started incorporating a lot of like broccolis and cabbages and carrots and stuff into my morning omelet because there's so much fiber, and it's making me full so much longer, where I'm not craving that snack until lunchtime. So they come with so many benefits. And like Alex mentioned, put on the big kid pants.
And I'll just quickly tag on fruit to that. Fruit's not the enemy. Yeah. Vegetables probably one of the best things you can do. Fruit's right up there. Don't be afraid to add fruit to your diet. I don't think we need to dig into the fruit as much, but it is also very beneficial. It's not your enemy on your fat loss journey.
Definitely. I'm glad you touched on that.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left. Last one I want to mention is sleep. You knew I was going to say
that's what I had.
Sleep yeah. And recovery. If you aren't allowing your body to recover adequately, don't expect it to progress adequately. We need to prioritize sleep, recovery days, in order for our body to overcome the change that we're putting on it. If you're putting a lot of new stress on your body, you have to provide it with the opportunity to recover. And we do most of that recovery during our sleep. So that all circles back to fat loss. Fat loss is requiring our body to change. We need to provide it sleep in order to do it properly.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people forget that being in a deficit and all these changes, this is stress to the body. Just because it's not necessarily negative stress, it's still added. The body can't differentiate. So it's still stress to the body. We need to recover. Sleep needs to be a priority. And a lot of people, I think you mentioned this before, you'll like set your sleep times. Like that's kind of like a non-negotiable, like this is where I'm going to bed, but the start of your day. So you kind of plan your day backwards. I can't remember who mentioned that. So it's like, if this is when I'm going to bed, now I circle back, kind of plan my meals. And now here I am at the start of the day, which I thought was cool.
I definitely do that. It's so important, guys. I know we left you with tips that you probably weren't expecting today, but these are the places you need to start on this journey. So there's not an extreme workout, there's not an extreme meal plan that you need to look for. If you can start with these 6 things: discover your why, move more, drink more water, eat more protein, eat more vegetables and fruits, and prioritize recovery and sleep, you will see progress. It might not be as quick as something you've tried in the past, but it will be sustainable.
Notice how we didn't tell you to take anything out of your life. We're asking you to add more good things into your life, right? So that's a key takeaway here. It's not about remove this. Fat loss and living a healthier life definitely starts with adding more good things. And those are 6 great things that you can work on adding.
Yeah. Yep. Love it. So the quick tip I'm going to leave you guys with today is just trying to habit stack some of this stuff. So the way that works is pick something you already do regularly in your day and stack one of these things that you're working on into that. So you brush your teeth twice a day. Have a big glass of water when you brush your teeth. That's 2 extra glasses of water in your day. You eat 3 big meals a day. Add a little walk after each meal. Now you've got some exercise. And I'm not saying do all of these. Pick a couple, pick 1 or 2 and have it stack one of these things onto it that you have a challenge with. It will over time have a big impact.
Awesome. Great tip.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Appreciate you being here. If there's something that you would add to this list, I'd love to hear it. Let me know or drop it in the comments. But most of all, if you know somebody who would benefit from hearing this, please share it with them. If you're not already in our free Facebook group, reach out to me. I'll give you the link to come join our free Facebook group because we cover all of this in more depth there. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.